Citizen Television, my guest tonight, I've been telling you all evening and all day long, the billionaire, industrialist and philanthropist who's been around, I tell you, for 9 decades. He's 90 years old. This man still goes to the office every single day. There's a lesson to be learned in all of this. That's why he is who he is. And giving back is one of his big things. He's got Manu Chandaria Foundation just about in every university in the city. And it's growing, and he's still giving. Sit back, folks. This man has a lesson for every one of us. Manu, good to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You kept your word last time. You cancelled on me last minute.
That's right, but I was sick. I'd just gone to the hospital at that time, yeah.
And I announced it, right?
That's right, you announced. And everybody kept on phoning.
They were saying, are you okay? Are you fine?
Fine, no.
Manu, 90 years old.
Well, already started the journey.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Today is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela would have been 100 today.
Yeah.
He would have been 100 today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You met him?
I met him. I met him because I was the trustee of Pan-African Parliament. And they wanted to have some social aspect also. So there were 5 trustees appointed by the Pan-African Parliament.
Yeah.
Every country sends 5 members of parliament there twice a year.
Right.
And they discuss about politics. But then they wanted to see how to do social work.
Yeah.
So they appointed some 5 trustees. I was appointed there. And Madiba came down to open it.
Was he president or was he after he was president?
No, after that. After that, yeah.
And?
And when he came in, he was just absolutely, when I told him a joke, he laughed like a child.
What joke was that?
No.
Come on, Manu.
Thank you.
I want to laugh like Madiba.
No, but the point is that he knew everything. He asked me, I told him I've come from Kenya. He asked me about Kenya, he asked me about Uganda, he asked me about Tanzania, and asked me about how things are going with the East African community. Knowledgeable in almost all respects.
Yeah.
And then said, how are things going? And we told him that how we are moving. And on that day he opened it up. But he was just, I must say that's a man to meet. Yeah. And I got much interested in him because I was also Gandhian in philosophy. And it was nothing based on non-violence, sacrifice,
yeah,
and to do things for others. And that's what he did.
So that's what you've gotten from him? You took a little...
Gandhi. I followed Gandhi when I went to university. I followed him for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I totally accepted what he wanted to tell us and do what things.
Amazing.
Means it was a very, very simple life.
Yeah. And now yesterday, President Barack Obama gave the keynote lecture at the Mandela Foundation. I don't know if you watched any of it.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it. He was just great.
Brilliant.
Great.
Brilliant.
Great. But you know, YALI, the Young African Leaders
yes.
Initiative,
yes.
You know, the Chandaria Innovation Center at Kenyatta University.
Yeah, KU.
He wanted to come and open it as soon as possible. So we gave the whole top floor. And they converted it in 2 or 3 months, 2 months, I think. And within 2 months, everything was ready. And the first cohorts came there. And he met them.
Were you there?
No, I was not there at that time, no.
Did you go?
I was traveling.
Did you go to Kogelo?
No, I didn't go. Now I travel very little. Just at this age, I must tell myself, hey, come on, man, can't do it.
But you know, it's been a great couple of days. I mean, him in Kogelo and now in Johannesburg, and it looks like there's a lot of optimism. There's a wind blowing across this continent. Would you say so?
Yeah, I think so. I think that more and more people like him to push up and tell us exactly where we are, where we should go.
Yeah, and call it like it is.
Yeah, absolutely. You just can't paint it and give something different. Tell it exactly what you think, what you saw, and explain that life can be much better.
Yeah.
It has to be built by us. Nobody's going to build for us.
For us, by us.
by us.
And you've been doing this, Manu, for the last, what, 4, 5, 6 decades?
Six and a half decades.
Yeah, six and a half decades.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been doing this in an environment that's not very friendly to business.
No, because we started originally with the colonial times, then the first president, then Moi regime, then Mwai Kibaki, now Uhuru. The question is that, are we really interested in Kenyans' goodwill and goodness for them and making them happier? It can be done. Lots of countries have done in our own lifetime. We kept on giving example Singapore, we give an example of Korea. So what's the difference with us? We got same 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 ears, everything.
So what's kept us back, Manu? What is it?
I think greed, probably.
Yeah.
Greed. And I think we should get after that. And I think that I'm so glad now that at least we are now focused. The president has come out with these 4 agendas, and we are focused and making very sure that we want to achieve it. By saying it doesn't happen, by doing it happens.
Yeah. He has the will, right? You can see he has the will.
Yeah.
But does he have the way? Because there's so many distractions, let's face it. Every single day there's a distraction that's pulling back Agenda 4.
That's right. But the point is this: why don't we depend on people of goodwill? There are many Kenyans who are just either given up or not bothered. Push them, because they can make a change. Because it's not a possibility that 2 or 3 or 4 or 50 or 100 or 500 makes a decision for 45 million people. No, it cannot be. And we need to move away from it. And it's not something which is a miracle. When I started, it was a miracle to be in the United States and to see Europe and Japan coming up like that. It was a miracle. But now, after that, how many countries have become prosperous? And there's no difference between us and them.
Yeah.
And so, we need to really put ourselves. And I think that what we require is the people of goodwill must get up and support, push this agenda. Because it's clear, without creating jobs, we cannot.
Yeah.
We cannot function.
And speaking of creating jobs, one of the big 4 agendas is manufacturing.
Manufacturing.
Right?
Manufacturing.
Industrialization and then job creation.
Yeah, job creation.
You are the ultimate industrialist and you're into manufacturing. How have you been able to sustain this throughout?
Well, it's hard work. If we would be somewhere else, what would we be? Let me give an example that we started exporting from China and manufacturing in China. In 10 years, we had 10,000 people working. And while we are in Africa, 16 countries, just about 20,000 people. It took 65 years to reach that 25. Why? I think that unless and until we see that everyone around us expects the same as I expect, then I think that we have got some possibility. But if I'm not prepared to look down and only look up, then I think there's no way you can manage it. I think we've got to make very sure and hold everybody's hand.
Did you at one point want to give up?
Well, a number of times we would have given up. But
give up and pack up?
And, well, not pack up, because born here, this is my soil, dongo yangu yo. No, don't give up and go away. No. But the idea is that frustrations, we got to stop. It cannot happen. Look at today. Everything that you see today is not from Kenya.
Yeah.
And how many jobs that we need? 3 million young people are just pacing streets every day.
Yes.
And come January next, another million will be on the street.
With degrees?
Not all the degrees.
diplomas.
But primary school were already become 18-year-old. Secondary schools already passed or drop out some of them, and university graduates. And now we've got 70 universities.
Yeah.
So we have all the possibilities. As far as the skills are concerned, intelligence are concerned, we are no less than anyone. But I think that we've got to put it to the right way. And I think somebody should keep on pushing that no, that's not the target. Target is still there.
You know, some people do push, but there's a lot of pushback as well.
Yes.
You know, and you know, it's been said that we need a benevolent dictator. We need a Lee Kuan Yew or a Paul Kagame who, you know, who will say, you know what, it's either my way or the highway.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I would like to say that, look, every country cannot have it that way. But I think that the way now, the will that His Excellency has showed now, that he wants to leave a legacy of making a difference in the lives of the people. And you cannot do it without jobs, without having enough food on our table. You can't do it.
And yet we are hemorrhaging this economy with all that stealing that's going on every single day.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, the people there who want to be Manu Chandaria overnight.
Well, it takes a lot of years.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they want to be you overnight. You saw today 1.5 billion shilling in that Raraka land scheme.
That's right.
It was bought like 3-4 times.
That's right.
That's
right.
I mean, come on. What is wrong with us?
Well, I think it's we got to ask ourselves. There's no medicine outside. It's with us. And somebody in good leadership over here telling us exactly that I don't want to walk one step and I don't want to see all those behind me. I want to hold their hands and be with me. That's the whole spirit. And unless and until the country moves together, then and then it'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Mother Teresa used to always tell us, a family who prays together stays together. She has been to our home 4 times.
Mother Teresa?
Yeah, 4 times.
To your home?
Yes.
Okay, while we're at it, who else has been to your home?
No,
Go on.
Let's not. No, many people.
Humor me.
But I think that at least these are the types of the people that I'd like to really follow.
Yeah. Obama said something very profound in Joburg yesterday. He says, look, how many houses can I live in at one time? You know, how much money is enough money? You know, because he's making a lot of money now with book tours and lectures. He says, I have so much money now, which is nowhere near what, you know, the Aliko Dangotes or the Patrice Motsepes have.
Yeah.
But he says, it's enough. It's enough. So how much?
You know, you've got a beautiful suit on you. On my wardrobe, there are 5 suits.
5?
1 new comes in, 1 goes out.
Goes out where?
Given him.
Can I have your next suit next time you're just throwing it away?
You're a little taller than me.
Is that right?
Then that came down from the Gandhian philosophy. As much what you really need, you have it. That's it.
5 suits.
5 suits.
1 comes in.
Another goes out.
How many shoes?
5, that's it. Total 5 suits. In the cupboard is only 5 suits, full stop. And 3 jackets. That's it.
My God.
But it's not, the point is that who can check yourself? Yourself alone.
Yeah.
Somebody else can always tell you something. But you got to check yourself.
Okay, but when you look at the newspaper headlines on your way to work every morning, and you still go to work, right?
Yep.
When you look at the newspaper headlines and you see the amount of stealing, it's not corruption, this is open stealing going on. What goes through your mind?
Well, I think that every Kenyan should be so upset. Must be upset.
Yeah, no, we're talking you because you earn your money.
I get upset because I said for me to see this, all I see is because I was chairman for street children.
Yeah.
for 10 years. And I used to go into the slums. Oh my God, that's an awful, awful situation. When you see that, and it's another Kenyan.
Yeah.
It's not somebody else that we're looking at. It's our own people. So I think that the whole point is that how can we just say enough is enough?
Yeah.
Everyone needs a lift. I cannot be only here. I need a lift as much as I can. And I think that the holding hands together and holding the hands of the people of goodwill today in this country is the only answer. Push.
That philanthropy spirit, where did that come from?
Oh, it came from because I went and I studied in the States. And I thought that, oh my God, these people have Ford Foundation, they got Rockefeller Foundation, Vanderbilt, and MacArthur, and I don't know how many of them. So when I came back, we just decided that, asked our parents, all of us, 6 of us were there. I said, how about having a Chandaria Foundation? And my father looked at us and he just said that because I was a spokesman. I looked at him and said, hey, something wrong with you? I said, what's wrong with me? I'm just only suggesting to a little foundation. He said, no, you lived too long in the United States. I said, I've stayed 3 years in the United States. What do you mean by I lived too long in the United States? He said, no, come on, there's a big hole over here. The 36 people at home, we're a joint family. The 36 people at home, fill that hole first. And we said, okay. After 4 or 5 years, I think later, he came back. And said, 10% of my company, I want to give it. Why? I wanted to see that there is always from start, when we don't have very much, that you have a philosophy that you want to give. And if the foundation is in front of you, every year, every day, you'll think about something. If it's not, you don't see, you don't think.
Yeah.
So, it's 1956 we created that Chandaria Foundation.
62 years.
Yeah.
And yet there are people with pretty much money like you.
Much more than me. I don't have the money, but lots of money.
And they don't think about that at all.
Well, I think that the question is that we need to cultivate this whole spirit of giving.
Yeah.
Giving is not only money. Giving is everything. As long as you can hold a hand. You go to the hospital today here. Go to Kenyatta Hospital. Just hold the hand of somebody and say, oh, what's wrong with you? And say, this is wrong. All right. Can I pray for you? I hope you'll be well. That much.
Yeah.
You can. Giving is easy if you want to give. Giving is very difficult if you don't.
If you weren't where you are, if you didn't have this huge conglomerate, Chandaria, would you be who you are? Would you be the same person?
Well, I was when I was a student, I followed Gandhi like nobody's business. When he had a Quit India movement, and in 4 years' time, I graduated from the university, and we got the independence. That was the spirit. Give, not this.
Yeah.
And sacrifice, simple living, as much as you can. And being a Jain, I don't eat meat, no fish, no chicken, nothing. My life is simple. The point is that how do you keep it simple? How do you feel pain of others together?
Yeah.
That's the only way.
So in this simple life, what is it? I mean, what does Manu do when he's not eating vegetables and stuff? I mean, what do you do? You play golf, or what do you do?
No, play nothing. I think my daughter is over here.
Yes.
Because of that, I saw for the first time the football World Cup.
Where?
She's here.
Okay.
She's here, so I saw that
For the first time?
first time. No, the full game. Yes.
Right.
I would have seen some shorts here
Yes.
there. Yeah. I've not played any time, so sports is not the interest I have. Reading, writing,
Yeah.
working for other things, and trying to create more awareness.
Yeah.
That's the job.
But did you enjoy the game?
Oh yes,
France,
wonderful.
Croatia?
Wonderful. You know, that's very interesting. We got a cup and a saucer, and the saucer was supposed to be when the tea is hot, you put it in the saucer
And then drink from
you
the saucer.
So he said, these guys, Croatians were drinking the saucer. French took the cup.
That's deep. That's deep. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, back to manufacturing.
Yeah.
You see what's been happening in Mombasa?
Yes.
Big backlog of goods coming in. Huge. First of all, tell me something. SGR, was it a big mistake or was this a game changer? I mean, we've had all arguments.
To me, it's game change. Let's not talk about the cost,
Okay.
but it's game change.
Yeah.
Because we need faster movement, as fast as we can.
So it's not a white elephant.
No, it's not a white elephant. If you want to run it well, it's not a white elephant. Because you must remember that we are sitting on a cost. God has given us a beautiful coast. But look at the people in Uganda, Rwanda, Eastern Congo. They all depend on us.
Yeah.
And unless and until we start thinking in that direction, that it's not mine alone. If I can earn, I can do a better job, I can create a better possibility if I can use my assets well. And I think that the SGR, forget about the cost, everything, but it can be done. Now, why this piling up is going on? There has to be more understanding between two people. You are a seller, I'm a buyer. You got to understand my requirements, and I got to understand that you are sitting over there and operating a shop, not without profit. I appreciate that. That relationship must be there. Now, if I just make up my mind and say, oh, I'll import this and I'll import this, and the guy doesn't have anything in the pocket to buy it, what's the point of it?
Makes no sense.
Yeah. So there has to be a common understanding.
Yeah.
I think that the people who are importers must be a part and parcel of every decisions at the port, at the railways.
Yeah.
If they're not the part of it, then, you take a decision which is, many people in policies are made in the offices without seeing the after effects. So after effects would be very, very difficult. In haste, we can take all the steps, but always we must remember that are we doing the good for it or are we not? If you're not doing good, I think it doesn't help.
Okay, what about building another port north of Mombasa in Lamu? Does that make sense? Help me out here.
Well, Lamu was really first oil of South Sudan.
Yes.
Unfortunately, for the last 3 years, it's not either this way or that way. Otherwise, the idea was to see if you can have a port, then immediately that it can go there. Instead of coming right at one side, going right up to Port Sudan,
Yeah.
and going out, it would be easier for here to go. And that would be quite okay. The point is that the ports without population support has no value. It has a value because there is a raw material there in southern Sudan. And there is a sea nearby here. If you can connect it, it'll be okay.
But what about our oil in Turkana going that way?
Well, can do. If we can have a pipeline, we'll go do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now we are just bringing, what you were doing until now is taking every truck from Mombasa, bring this way. Now we want to take oil this way. Right?
Yeah.
But I think that the point is that over a period of time, nothing builds overnight. It takes its own time. But I think that as long as there is a much better understanding between both the users and the providers of services. If there's a connection, proper connection, then I think that we can explain. I can explain what the problem with my cargo coming in. I can explain that.
Yeah.
But how would you explain it in the Ministry of, it's supports Minister of Transport? It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that what is required is that little bit more, still more dialogue, understanding, and I might see only my good way. I might not want to see the other good way.
Yeah.
But as long as we can discuss and talk and understand why you want to do this way and why I don't want you to do this way, then you can make a decision.
What do other Indian businessmen feel of Manu Chandaria? I'm just curious here. What do they think? Because, you seem to be a different kind of guy here.
No, nothing. No. There are no men. I wish. That's good. That's nice of them to think good about it. That's it. Nothing more than that. Yeah. No.
The non-violent fella.
Yeah.
Okay. But also regional leaders, will they support this whole? Because Kenya is the hub of everything. It's the hub, like you said. Rwanda, Burundi, DRC, South Sudan, even Tanzania. We are the hub. But there's not that cooperation, huh?
Well, cooperation, these are all we are looking at the political level. Let's leave it to the business level. Let's leave it to man. Both, if you are a user of this product and I am a consumer of that product, let's leave it to them. I think then you can build. The question is that you cannot just impose things.
Yeah.
And every imposition that you do, it always either dampens the business or it goes on one way rather than.
Yeah.
So to me, there is only way is sit together, talk. All right, you don't like my tomatoes, why don't you like my tomatoes? But you keep the tomato trucks on one side for 12 hours in the sun. What happens to tomatoes? Nothing.
Right.
There's no more tomatoes left anywhere. Yeah. So I think that it's understanding. And little much misunderstanding in this whole question of line of sovereignty. This is my country. At the end of the day, when we should talk about it's our country, Africa.
Yeah.
It's our continent.
Speaking of the continent, and I'm glad you raised that, the Continental Free Trade Agreement,
Yes.
CTFA, was just signed the other day.
Yeah.
A lot of countries jumping on board as we speak.
Yeah.
And now, hopefully, the market will be in Africa.
Yeah.
Rather than, sending our milk or flowers to Amsterdam.
Why should we? Yeah, why should we? We can do it, everything over here. As long as there's a market, we should be able to do it.
You think it'll work?
It will work. It works. Why would people buy from, why do I buy products from Japan? Because it's costlier, but the quality-wise, it's number one. So the question is that why should I buy from Japan when I can get it from South Africa?
Yeah.
The whole point is that the people must understand and make it easier for each other. And if we can make it easier for each other in trade and business, then there's no problem.
None.
No problem. The point is every growing economy has got its own problems to solve. Nothing is easy to build. Everything is difficult to build.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to, one stone goes down, you got to pick it up again and put it.
Yeah.
But if you don't do it, then that stone will be there and you will be sitting here. That's it.
When you see Ethiopia and Eritrea coming together,
Yes.
you see South Sudan handshaking.
Yes.
Does that give us hope?
Yes, it
Does
gives
that-
us hope. It gives us hope. As a matter of fact, we should be doing the same thing between our states as much as possible. 3 visits, 4 visits, 5 visits, 6 visits. You become synonymous. I've lived in colonial East Africa where there was 1 shilling. There was no kipandes and passport between the countries. That was the same shilling. You can use it in Tanzania. You can use it in Kampala. That you can use it in Mombasa. It was being done. So what's wrong that just because the numbers have grown, that it cannot be done? It can be done. The point is that you need people who are prepared to say, yes, you grow, I also grow. If you grow and I don't grow, things don't work.
Yeah.
Everybody should be win-win.
Patrick Njiru, you know him?
Yeah, absolutely.
He says a big hello.
Yeah. He's
says
an
a
old
big-
friend of mine.
Kabando wa Kabando.
Yes, very much.
He says Dr. Manu Chandaria exemplifies creation of jobs and wealth through industrious innovations. Proud of you, Dr. Manu Chandaria, Kabando wa Kabando. He's proud of you, as are many people. I'm shocked.
Why are you sure?
5 suits.
Yeah, that's it.
5 suits.
That's it.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. I wish people would take a leaf.
No. The point is that you don't sacrifice and you don't become simple for yourself. What example do you set then?
Yeah.
And when you see hundreds and millions, I've seen because every slum I go to, I could walk in every one of them, and people will come and say, "Come on, can I take a photograph with you? Can I sit with you?"
No
Can I shake your
bodyguards.
hand?" No one, because they know that I go there once in 10 days, 20 days, I'm there.
Yeah.
So the point is that if they feel comfortable, if I feel comfortable with my government, I'm happy, I grow. I don't feel comfortable, I sit back.
Yeah.
Sitting back is not an answer.
Can I take a photograph with you later?
Sure.
Dr. Manu Chandaria, folks. This man, I tell you, learn a little something from this humility that comes with a man who's a billionaire industrialist and a philanthropist. He's giving much of it back to his own people. What a philosophy. Simple as that.